This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com, and today on the Great North Wrestling Podcast, I have legendary pro wrestling commentator Hugo Savinovich, who is currently working for All Elite Wrestling and AAA Lucha Libre. He, of course, had a long career in WWE, I think from 1994 to 2011, but today we're going to talk about mostly what he's involved with now, including the huge show at Madison Square Garden this Sunday. I know you're really tired. You've been running all over the place. How are you doing today?
Well, first of all, my trademark. Tangana. Thank you very much, my brother Hannibal, for this invitation. Yeah, it's been crazy, and at the same time, almost like unbelievable with these alliances of AAA and AEW. I've been doing pay-per-views for AEW. Of course, you know that I was a very good friend with Dusty Rhodes, so with his son Cody, it's big thing there, and Young Bucks have worked for me on my shows before. So most of these guys, I'm so proud to see them now becoming, these big executive people. And Kenny Omega had worked for me in Chile, one of my shows too. So I'm so proud of the fact that people are getting a choice to see not just WWE, but now you got, besides New Japan, Ring of Honor, Impact, you got now AAA on this World Conquest Tour, Gira de la Conquista Total, and we did great in Colombia. And as you know, then Vince went to Colombia. So yeah. I tell people, you want Vince to go to your country, have me go there first, and then he'll book his shows there because we do pretty good. So now, like you said, we're excited. I've been doing the media tour with Cain Velasquez, which, by the way, not just a great UFC mixed martial arts artist and fighter, but also he did fantastic, Hannibal, on our big show in Mexico, Triple Mania 27. That was like over 18,000 fans, and with the live telecast of TV Azteca, Twitch, Space TV, which is like HBO owned by Turner Broadcasting System in Latin American countries. Man, a total over, I don't know how many millions of people watch it, unheard of. So been busy, but very proud that we're putting out a big quality show on this Sunday at the Hulu Theater in New York, invading New York at the Garden. It's going to be off the hook. LAX has been added to the card against the Lucha Brothers. You got Tessa Blanchard defending the world Reina de Reinas AAA title against Taya, the Knockouts champion. And you got the legends, Dr. Wagner against Blue Demon. You name it, it's there. It's none of this crap of too much talk. It's just, let's hit it. Let's do a good show and give people the best lucha. That's what AAA is.
Will both titles be on the line for the women's match?
Yeah, from what I understand, up to the last announcement, it was just the AAA World's title, which is called Reina de Reinas, Queens of Queens title. But that could change any minute because of the alliances. This is like unheard of. Impact is doing business with us. All Elite Wrestling, Cody and the family of All Elite Wrestling. So AAA is blessed that they could bring down to the Hulu Theater at the Garden, an incredible show. Brian Cage is going to be on the show. Melissa Santos is going to be one of the presentators. So we're talking about the best experience of the lucha world mixed with American talent in one solid show in Betty, New York, this Sunday at the Hulu Theater. I'm so blessed that I'm part of this because, as you know, I've been doing this since I was 14 years old as a professional wrestler. I did over 20 years in the ring, and to me, I feel the passion of the same boy that in Ecuador fell in love with lucha at 5 years old. I feel it. I talk to you right now, and I'm as excited as I was when I debuted with the mask as Pantera Asesina when I was 14 years old. I love this business. There's a lot of backstabbing and all these things that of course. But I still love it. It's a crazy world. I'm also a pastor. I'm an evangelist. So to me, it's like a 24-hour gig, and being so blessed that I could have this opportunity of talking to you, to your viewers. And I have my Lucha Libre Online page. We have like 567,000 followers on Facebook, 237,000 on YouTube, Lucha Libre Online. And we started our Instagram page less than a year. We already have like over 45,000 people. We keep it real. We keep it clean. We don't knock WWE. Whoever does something good will say it's good. And if it's bad, even if it's AAA of All Elite Wrestling, you're going to hear it from me, but not on a hater's perspective, but on a professional basis on what was wrong and what could be better, and we let the fans be the ones that judge the product.
Is that the biggest Spanish language news site in existence right now, Lucha Libre Online?
Yes, besides AAA that has, that's a wrestling company. They have over 1 million followers. Ours is the number one, and it's crazy because we got people from Japan, Australia. They don't understand. Just like when I do the play-by-play, people say, I don't understand one word of the Spanish, but we just love the emotion, all that stuff that you put into it. So that we got people from all over the world, 567,000. This has been within 2 years. I went in partnership with Javier Gonzalez, my partner, and we got a lawyer that is a young reporter. He just did one interview with Savio Vega that was off the hook. We got Americo. We got one of the best design graphic, and my wife helps me out. And like last night, I came from Mexico. She's fighting cancer. She went to pick me up, and I say, baby, I'm not gonna be able to make it to our house. So we stopped by the marina in Queens, and we did a live report on Raw, and over 1,000 comments. We had over 10,000 views. Usually we hit like 20,000 views on the moment, but the product has not been that good. So there's less people watching Raw than before.
Yeah, I understand it wasn't sold out even with Steve Austin on the card, which was surprising.
Oh, and I live in the New York area, of course. And we were doing the media press all over New York with Cain Velasquez. And Vince and his people, they bought so much advertisement from Facebook, local radio, TV spots. It was like on the radio stations, boom, boom. Because his idea was if you could saturate the New York market with Raw, SmackDown, even if you're interested in checking out this new product from AAA Invader New York, you're going to be putting your money to see Undertaker on Tuesday on SmackDown, Austin on Monday, and then add up all this other information that the Fiend is going to attack another legend, which they didn't do. And I think that also hurts them on their credibility because they did the whole segment last night on the Fiend talking about Stone Cold. But yet they broke their own storyline because that he's been attacking all these legends. Yet Stone Cold was not attacked. So there's not a continuity thought of elaborating a good storyline. Even if they had the segment where he's talking about Stone Cold, they blew it. They should have had him attack him last night. I think that was a big, big mistake. But they did it to draw more people because their ticket sales was so bad that they had to put Austin to 10 years that didn't go back to do Raw or SmackDown there, and they wanted to stop AAA. So we're hitting hard on Sunday. We are at the Hulu Theater, and I hope that we do good at 6,000 tickets. We've been working hard. It's very hard to fight Vince, especially with the situation of we don't have a Spanish channel yet here in the States, but I'm looking forward to have one of the networks in Spanish carry AAA, and I'm telling you, Hannibal, we're going to kick some butt when that happens.
Who is Cain Velasquez wrestling? Because it hasn't been advertised that much in the English language who he's wrestling.
Yeah, I just got the card, and I think that was a mistake from AAA. And like I said, I call it down the middle, just like it is. They emphasize on Invader New York and some faces, but they only put the card out this week, and I think that was a big mistake. And I told the owner, I'm talking to you. That's the way I do business. And we just found out like Lucha Brothers are going to be against LAX. Of course, the Legends Blue Demon against Dr. Wagner. But we just found out that Cain Velasquez will be in a match of trios, those Australian three tag. He's going to be teaming up, I believe, with Psycho Clown. And boy, I can't think of the. But anyways, 3 against 3, one of the headliners. But we just found out a couple of days ago. So, the way you do business in Latin America, it's much different than in the States. And AAA, it's going to go on the process of learning. And I believe that if we would have had this like 3 weeks ago, that the Lucha Brothers, LAX was going to be on a card. What about this match? That Taya, the Knockouts champion, against, you mentioned that at the beginning of this interview, against Tessa Blanchard. You're talking about 2 of the top female athletes. I just did the AAA live show on Twitch on Sunday from Puebla, and Taya was in the main event with the guys. And there's not that crap that you can't touch one of the girls, whatever. I mean, this is hard hitting. Hamada's daughter, Ayako Hamada, was in the heels team, and I'm telling you, There were chair shots. There was one ladder that Yako Hamada hit Taya that I was on my play-by-play table with my partner Guillen. I thought that she had like killed Taya because the shot was like this. But thank God, we were talking about it after that dinner with the LX and Conan, who's the head creative guy, and I said, from my shot, because we don't look at the ring, we concentrate on when you do play-by-play, you got to look at your monitor. You stay away from the ring, even if it's just 3 steps from you. The shot that the director had, it looked like she just boom smashed her. But that's the kind of action that we're having. I feel like if the fans got more of that, essence of what we do, we would have had better reaction. But so far, we're doing better now. But that Vince publicity machine and the money he put out on the 3-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, all the media, Facebook. I mean, he wanted to stop us, and we are going to go forward to have a great show this Sunday, and tell all you people to buy the tickets at Ticketmaster. And I'm telling you, you go there, you're going to be in love with the show. Like I said, Melissa Santos is going to be one of the presentators. I'm going to be there, and it's just high caliber action. You're not going to be seeing too much time on the mic. It's going to be hard hitting lucha wrestling with the best talent.
So Cain is signed for 2 more matches, the New York match and the LA match. Do you think he's going to be with AAA on a continual basis in the years to come?
I believe because WWE, way before we did the AAA thing, invited him to go to the Performance Center. One of the things, like, for instance, Cain has money. He has not wasted his money. He's a family guy. Beautiful person. You meet this guy, like I did 2 days with him, his agent, Mike Fonseca. These are successful. Fonseca is the agent of artists and players. He's the CEO of the advertisement company. But you talk to these 2 guys, to Cain and Mike Fonseca, and they're down to earth. And these are people that got a lot of money. Cain has over 1 million followers just on his Facebook page, and he is so humble. People stop him in the streets, will take pictures. He will talk to him. We did a segment after the Mexican Council visit, and I invited him to eat a taco. What we're doing, like we're doing now. And this guy, it's real. It's down to earth, and he's got this Sunday's Invader New York match. He has the October 13th Forum invading LA. But he has stated, and he told me with his agent, that he would love to do more with AAA. Yet with the alliance with All Elite Wrestling, it gives him the advantage that he doesn't have to sign with Vince, WWE. Now, if he wanted to and his agent wants to, he could still do AAA, because we're going to be doing Colombia again. We're going to be doing international tours, Europe and other places. So Cain could do those dates at the same time, do dates with All Elite Wrestling. And he has not said that he's not doing UFC anymore. That was one thing that that he stated in one of my interviews. He said, I have not said that I'm not doing UFC. I'm just like considering what's best for me. So if Dana White hits him with a good offer, I mean, this guy trains every day. He is, I mean, he could do some ass kicking. And business-wise, our promo is he's the guy that defeated Brock Lesnar in the UFC world. So if you take that in consideration, there's an open door that one moment in time, you could have that Lucha Libre rematch between Lesnar and Cain. And I would hope to have a chance to be the guy that will produce that if it happens to our Latin American world and to the rest of the world. Because I think I've been fighting for this. I think that if we could do something like in Mexico at the Stadium Azteca, which holds over 100,000 fans, and I'm a legit business guy. I'm not into I want to kill this company. I want Vince to do bad. I'm not that. I want wrestling to do good, because most of my friends are working in one of those companies, and success means that they bring food to their house and feed. So I'm looking to see if there's a way we could have a match like that at Stadium Azteca, sits over 100,000 fans, and bring AEW, bring AAA. The company that's been enemies with AAA in Mexico, but now the founder died, the daughter is in charge, CMLL, and have that that world of lucha war, and have an attraction like a Lesnar against Cain Velasquez on the top main event. I think we could do over 100,000 in person in Mexico, and the pay-per-view. If you mix it up the right way, you'll do fantastic. And in Mexico, Lucha Libre, it's a second sport. It's recognized as part of the culture of the country. With all the legal, titles and all that stuff. Lucha Libre is a second sport. And when you walk in Mexico, airports, everywhere else, people look at you with respect. And this is not a country of 8 million people. We're talking Hannibal, over 200 million fans. You go to restaurants, oh, that's Hugo Savinovich, the play-by-play guy, and this. So you see Blue Demon. Blue Demon, if you see him with a mask in the street, I mean, unless you have time, you're going to be in trouble because people just go around him and they will not let him go for, 30, 40 minutes. Huge. And I think we could bring that passion into the whole world because we have a good product. And with Conan as the head creative guy, with the young owner, Dorian, and the lady that's in charge, the Licenciada Marisela Rodan Peña, we have a family and a production of people that they love the talent. You should see the way they take care of the announcers and the wrestlers is respect. And I think that's what's missing in our business. Our guys and girls are not treated with respect. When I book my shows, I make sure they stay at the best hotels. I give them the best guarantee. And if they are like in Chile or other places, if I could help them, they want to see something, I take them on a tour. I want them to know that I appreciate the fact that they live in their families, their wives, their husbands, to come down. And the only thing I ask is, I'm going to pay you good money. Give the fans a show to remember. That's all I ask.
Now, when you were commentating for WWC in Puerto Rico, you were there the year that Brody was murdered, right?
Yes, Frank was one of my best friends at the time. At that time that happened, wow! I still today I cannot believe it. It was something horrible. It was not, that really hurt us. I was one of his best friends, and I tell the story of my book, Atangana, Ring of Temptations. It's not yet in English. That I once was in the ring working against it, Carlos Colon and myself, against Barabbas and Bruiser Brody. And mind you that he was one of my best friends. As a matter of fact, when they did the funeral, the widow asked me for me to do the whole thing, and I talked and everything. How was that? Eulogy. I did that in Spanish and English. I cried like for 3 days. It was a tag team match, and I'm turning like babyface to take over the play-by-play and being the top guy in wrestling there. And I thought it was like the right moment. He had like the claw on the trapeze muscles of Carlos Colon. And I came in and I bit him hard in the butt. I mean, not to like, make a hole in it, but it was like hard enough. And Frank looked back and he said to me, Hugo, I'm going to kill you. And he let Carlos go. He was chasing me. And you know how Frank, he had that, man, he was an athlete. And when he was almost catching up with me, Carlos stopped him and boom, boom. And they went home early. And I did the flying body press from the top rope of Barabbas. Won. My wife at the time was my girlfriend. And the ringside crowd, it was like everybody just, like it was silent out of that big pop of the win. And then I realized what has happened is he had hit Carlos against the ring post and took one of those old school heavy steel chair. And came in and hit me so hard in the back that my knees just crumbled, and I suffered through that for 15 years because Frank could hit you when he wanted to. So it was bad. It was what happened there should have never happened. My philosophy has always been, if you are not happy with a talent, or the talent is a troublemaker, you pay him, and then you just don't bring him back. So to me, it was a tragedy that could have been stopped. You cannot turn the clock, but it was horrible. Frank and I we were together on some things out of the ring that the two of us could have been killed many times in the islands, because I ran the islands too. I did English and Spanish shows, and at that time, Capital Sports, which is now WWC, it was like the top promotion. And guys, if you were not working for Ben Gagne or Vince's father, you wanted to work in Puerto Rico. I had the guys like Fuji, the Dutch Mantel. All these guys were living in Puerto Rico because they were making good money. So it was like the era where Puerto Rico was running from Panama to old Aruba. We did co-promotions with Vince's father in Curacao. It was half of his company, half of ours. We did the show English and Spanish, and everything was doing good. And I still to this day have the record of producing, we didn't have the digital era now. So the time was bringing in these gringo guys, engineers with the long hair, and trust on them to give me San Juan, Ponce, and Maya West, three shows, one night, closed circuit, and we sold out those 3 shows. But I was sweating bullets because with the territory or the geographical place of the island, it's not the best signal at different locations. But we did live matches in each stadium, and then the rest were seen on big screen. And we, until today, nobody has done that. And Brody was part of the success of the Caribbean and Puerto Rico. I love the guy. This Stan Hansen and him, when we bring him over, it was like you did not want to miss seeing this guy, because they were like the legit heels, the guys that will come in and give the fans 15, 30, 40 minutes and give them the best show, like the rudos or the villains of wrestling should do it.
What's Invader doing these days? The last I heard, he was doing some work for WWC years ago, but I haven't heard much from him since he had his retirement match in IWA around 2007 or 2006.
Yeah, it was for me, it was a very delicate situation because he was also one of my best friends. So for a few years, that relationship went like really cold because it took me time to not erase it, but just like life must go on. And recently, on a small company in Florida, he did a special referee. He's doing something for Lucha Conquest 5 in Kissimmee for GCW, teaming up with a young guy, Borico Guerrero, against Savio Vega and Rebelde Noriega. And it's like I said, here there was just a tragedy. Of course, you know that time will go on, and I don't think a lot of people will ever forget what happened. And it's
Does he live in Florida now? Then does Invader live?
No, he lives in Puerto Rico. He just did an angle with another company that is called. I founded that company. The owner was just too tough to handle. We had already sold out. I had a business deal with it was a World Wrestling League. We had gone to Mexico, sold out the Coliseo in Monterrey, sold out a couple of arenas, and I had a package with Dorian and his father, God rest his soul, to do 25, companies mixed together on the show. And we had some dates for the Philippines and Korea. And this guy, the guy that was a founder with me of the company, I mean, he could be the nicest guy in the world. If he says he will pay you, he will pay you. But he would just change and go wild and start fighting with people on the internet and fighting with promoters. And I just could not handle that because I'm not a guy that likes to do that. So basically, I stopped working for him. Then the company was given to Savio Vega. He ran it. And then he sold it to one of the guys that is from one Spanish band group. I did their 30th anniversary celebration. I presented them at the business stadium. They had like over 25. They're huge. I can't think of their name right now, but like they sell out in Mexico, everywhere. So he was one of the owners of the company. And then he had some personal issues, and he sold it to other people. And they've been doing like besides the show that I did last year, that I sold out like 6,000 people. I brought in like everybody. That show was from Johnny Mundo to everybody. They did like 900 people, and right now 900 is like the best number that the companies are doing there right now. Carlos' company now, Eddie and Orlando Colon, Eddie Colon Primo and Epico, I think is the other guy's name, Orlando Colon. They're not like taking over, but the reputation is so bad that even though these 2 kids, which I love, are doing their best to revive it, their TV show Saturday and Sunday on the top station, the production, it is so horrible that it's, to me, it's like an insult to what I did as a producer and the main guy on the mic. It just hurts me to see what cost us, blood, scars, sweat, till 4 or 5 in the morning at the TV studio, getting things done to run to WAPA and go on the booth of the news station and do like live thing of what happened last night on the big show to draw people and make millions of dollars there, and to see the lack of respect of not of Orlando and Eddie, because they're trying to change it, but of their father and Jovica. They have embarrassed the island of Puerto Rico, and that's one of the reasons why I did my show last year. I'm doing it in November this year. We haven't announced the guys. I'm signing some big names again for that show. It's because, like I said to you before we went on, half of the proceeds are always to help, people, institutions that really need it direct. I don't go through governments. I don't trust, the people that handle this. We go to direct people that we know. They're going to feed the people. They're going to give medicine to the people. They're going to feed the kids. So I'm bringing that back November. And I also do it because the people in Puerto Rico have been devastated by the Hurricane Maria. And when you are a true wrestling aficionado, like a Puerto Rican fan, and had for years one of the top markets in wrestling, to see where their product, their representation has taken the name of Puerto Rico. It's so sad that at least for that night, I do like almost impossible to bring them, the best show, the best sound, the screens, the setup and everything, just so they could have a big show because they deserve it.
And finally, the last question I'll ask you, I know you're really busy. You were known in WWE. The wrestlers would always go through this Spanish announce table. What was the scariest incident of a wrestler going through that table?
Well, that thing follows me, even if it's not supposed to be like part of the storyline. For some reason, and still today, luchadores, top stars, they will find my table. I don't know. How did it happen? We were like, remember that show South Park? We were like the Kennys of the Lucha Libre, because if the fans did not see the Spanish table get broken, they didn't really pop when they did it to Jim Roth and the King. They wanted the Spanish table broken. And at the time, you see, like, you didn't know, so you're watching like your monitor, and then all of a sudden you see like the Undertaker is flying through the table, a big guy like Mark Holloway going with his legs, boom, right on the jaw, because you didn't know they were coming, and it was just crazy. My friend Carlos got one of his fingers broken, and I said, "Don't worry, Carlos." I said that the Animal George Steele will help you, and it was an ex-coach, and he knows how to help people. And I said, "George, my friend Carlos got his finger, something happened to his finger, and it was like bent this way, and George just took it away, and now then he really broke the finger." So Carlos was like, "Wow, what happened here?" It was like every pay-per-view, something, and I guess for the boys was funny. When you're getting hit, it's not really that funny. So the table was a crazy place to be, because we will not know. We will not know. And there was one incident at the beginning where the big boss, where Vince was in a match, and he was gonna go on the table from the top. I think it was a cage. It wasn't the one where Hulk hits me with the chair on I think it was WrestleMania 17. That wasn't it. It was another match with Vince was involved, and he was going to be taking a bump from the back. And at that time, they would set up the table with fashion pins. It was like pins. And that day, as we see him coming, because the tables were so hard that if you didn't take those pins out, you would get a broken back, because those were the heavy tables. So Carlos Cabrera is in charge of taking that pin off to protect Vince that is falling, or protect anybody that was falling at that time. But in this case, was a bloody Vince McMahon, and that pin got stuck, and we couldn't get the. And all of a sudden, we just see him flying back, and at the last second, Carlos is able to take the pin, because if not, as a matter of fact, Vince did one that he hurt his back bad on one of those falls, but on that one he was protected. It was crazy, but it's part of the history of the Attitude Era, which to me was one of the best ones, creative wise. They have all the billions of dollars. USA is given for 5 years on Raw over $1 billion. Fox is giving Vince over $1 billion. God bless them for that. But they are doing so bad creatively that people like you and me, that we constantly have the flow of views that are not controlled by companies. They're the real fans talking. They said, "What the heck just happened?" They are furious because they think they're still dealing with the kids, and now the kids have their own kids, and they want it to be level. They want stories that the kids could enjoy, but also, hey, treat me with respect. I'm a grown up. Now I gotta pay the mortgage. Give me what I'm supposed to get from your telecast, and they're not getting it. So it's crazy. So in Mexico, we're doing a pay-per-view out of nowhere. I see the rudos, the bad guys, coming to our table. On this show, we were attacked. I said, we were attacked at least 3 times. And I'm telling you, it's not like I know, and I help with the creative with Conan. It's not like I know that it's going to happen. They just love to this crazy stuff. I don't know why. People like it. I love it. Sometimes it's bad because they do a lot of blood. They have like put down that we have less blood now because we're going more international. But you buy a new suit and you look sharp, and now you got blood like here on your forehead, on your brand new suit, and it's like horrible because once you leave the table, now you got blood right here on your ears and on your lips. Like when the camera is not on us, then the assistant production people come in with a towel, they clean us, and we see like blood. I said, what the heck just happened? But it's a good product, and for all your fans to debut in the three-state area, check out this Sunday in Beatty, New York. You're not gonna forget the show. I guarantee you, one of the best days or nights in a show, because these guys kick butt. I'm not saying it because I'm under contract with them. They deliver so much action. The aerial stuff they do, it's like incredible stuff. And when you have guys like the Lucha Brothers and legends like Blue Demon, Dr. Wagner, and you got Psycho Clown. It's like the name says, he's a clown with the mask, but he was the guy that beat Dr. Wagner out of that culture mask that he has, which that was unheard of because he's a legend. He won the mask against mask, and he's like the top star. And when he comes out, especially the kids, they go crazy. And this guy delivers. He gives it 100%, and he will not leave the arena. He takes pictures with the kids, with the families. He's one of the top stars in our industry that I really respect, because in the ring he gives it his best. He's going to be in my show September 21 in Kissimmee at the KBLS. It's called Lucha Congo Cinco. He's going to be the top match against Carlito Caribbean Cool for the world title. This guy does the aerial thing, but he has the psychology of entertaining an audience at the building and at TV. And he's a young dude from like a 3-generation lucha family. And he's Hannibal. He is so respectful. He comes to you and respects the veterans in this business, helps the younger generation, and every fan that he touches, he puts our business and his love for our business when he hugs them. He's for real.
Well, thanks a lot for talking to us. I know you're on Facebook. That's how I found you. But do you have Twitter or Instagram, anywhere else we can follow you?
Yeah, the best way is Lucha Libre Online on Facebook or the YouTube Lucha Libre Online. And when we have an American or a Japanese or Australian fan that write to us in English, at that moment, I will answer to him or to her in English. We keep it real. We have videos like I was talking to Conan, LAX from Mexico. I did a promo with Cain Velasquez eating tacos in front of the Mexican consulate. We do crazy stuff. We do live shows, and we keep it real. We're not here to hurt Vince or to hurt any company. I openly say it. Hey, I'm on the contract with Space TV and AAA, but if they do something wrong, I'll be the first one to say, hey, we got to kick some ass and do it better. So I keep it real. I love this business. I respect the fans, and I respect you for having the time to share your experience and open up a forum where they could see and hear us, and the fans could get the real picture of what's going on in not in my business, in our business, because I think that's the problem. People forget, the big corporate people forget that it is the fans that make our business great. If it wasn't because of our fans, we will not be able to live the lives that we live.
Well, thanks again, and maybe we could check in with you next month before the LA show, so you could give us maybe an update on that card. I think it's October 13th at the LA Forum.
Yes, that's going to be a butt-kicking show also. Cain is on there. That's more of Cain Velasquez area. So I think you're going to see a bigger pop reaction. And now AAA will be learning from this experience at the Hulu Theater at the Garden. The good thing about Conan and the executives of AAA and Dorian is that you're not going to see them repeat the same mistake, which to me is the most wonderful way of operating. So I want to keep learning. They want to keep learning. And our main thing is to give fans around the world. Hopefully you'll hear from us that we're going to Europe and we want to do some crazy things in Japan also, and helping All Elite Wrestling also do their shows in Puerto Rico and other places. Just bring shows that will entertain fans and create new ones. We have to create new ones because we're losing a lot of the younger generation into the video games. And if we could show them that we got the heroes and the villains where you could see them live in a building and be entertained for 3 hours, we're gonna get this younger generation back.